Hello and welcome to today's presentation. Today we'll be looking at how to get more customers using the supply point add-on for with Webshop. I've got one of my colleagues here, Shane Craner, who will be doing the half of the presentation today. Welcome, Shane.
Thanks, Stuart. Thanks for having me.
So this Webshop, it's an add-on that Eclipse has developed.
Correct. We identified a while back there was a need for an easy-to-implement, rapid toolkit to get our customers online because they're missing out on a lot of business. So we decided to fill that hole.
All right. Okay. And it's fully integrated with the Microsoft Dynamics NAV?
It is. One of my pet hates is web shops that pretend to be sort of integrated, but then you have to go somewhere else to do the back end of it. So we set out with a goal from day one to take an already existing web shop that had 10,000 installed sites but didn't have any integration. It was a very stable product. We negotiated with them and used their source code and then did all the integration pieces so that the whole thing is built and integrated into NAV to the point that you upload images, you upload extra content, you do all your topic, your CRM and all that sort of stuff straight through NAV.
Right, because I've had experience myself with websites or web shops and trying to integrate them back in with your ERP, and you're adding another problem in there, which is the integration all the time to get things up and down.
It's extremely complicated to do it, to be honest.
Exactly. Well, if this does it all together, that's fantastic. That's a great saving time. So this can be used for account customers as well as anonymous customers, can it, the web shop?
Yeah, we support both what we call B2B, which is your account customers, and B2C, which is obviously your general public. The major difference between them is B2C customers are unknown to the website, obviously, before they start shopping. At some point, they have to check out. When they check out, they obviously become a B2B customer because now they're known and they're part of your business model and obviously an account customer. But even though they're known to you, you can apply other filters that says that consumers that come in through the website get certain terms and conditions and certain pricing, and obviously your other account customers continue to get their standard whatever you've negotiated with them. So you can differentiate them.
Okay, and of course the credit card payments are supported for those unknown customers to make sure that they pay before we dispatch the goods?
Correct, yeah, that's one of the big differentiators between account customers and B2C, so to speak. B2C, when they sign up, they can either pay by credit card or, if you allow it, pay cash on delivery. They're the only two options, really. B2B extends that, and you can nominate certain customers to put it on account. So, obviously, you would go through that the account clearing process with them and give them a limit that they can spend up to, and then when they check out, they don't have to pay up front. They just simply put that on their account with you.
Okay. All right, well, I might just hand the presentation over to you, Shane. If we could, the time we've got today, we've only got 10 minutes, but if we can just maybe add a product in, and let's have a look at the website. Yep, I can see that. That looks great. So if we can just have a look at a product on there, maybe we add a new product in and come back to the website and see the product there.
Sure. Okay, so what we'll do first, we'll just jump into NAV and we'll go and create a new sales item. So we'll just go and create a new one and we'll call it a hedge trimmer. I'm not going to get too into how all the complications of this. It's just standard NAV. There's nothing special here. Most of you will be familiar with this. Okay, so we're just going to give it some categories. We're going to set up some basic pricing so we can buy it later.
And you don't have to offer all your products on your website, do you? You can have...
Correct. Yep. So that's all standard NAV that you see there. We've added one tab at the back end here, which is completely unique to the web store. We allow different segmentation, so we might want to decide to segment this differently here, which will appear in a different menu structure. And, of course, we've got the published. So by default, it will publish things automatically, but you can turn that off. And what that's now done is created an item on our website. So if we now go and do a search for hedge, in a moment, what it's going to do is come up with our product. So all we're going to do here is create a new item. So we're going to allocate a new number, and we'll call it a hedge trimmer. Okay, and we're going to give it a unit of measure because obviously we need one to sell. And what I'll do is segment that just quickly so we can see it on the website. So we'll call it a garden appliance and a hand tool. Okay, this is all very standard nav, nothing special here. I'm going to give it some pricing so we can see how that works. And on our web store tab, we have another way of segmenting it. So I'll segment it slightly different here, which basically what this does is controls how it appears in the menu. Okay, and the published is what controls whether it appears on the website. So you can create items in nav which don't necessarily have to go out to your web store, and you can also control their available start and stop. So you can create limited runs of items on the web store as well.
Okay.
So if we now go and flip to our item here and look for our product, you can now see that our product has appeared in nav.
Right.
If we look at that, it's pretty basic. It tells us it's out of stock. It gives us our price, which is obviously inclusive of GST because I told it was $100 X.
Yep.
But it's not very pretty. So what we're going to do now is go back to our item and we're going to upload some images. So this is all still through now. I haven't done anything special here. We're going to open our hedge trimmer and we're going to update that. Now what you'll see it's done is automatically resized. Because I updated the big one, it's downsampled automatically our 3 images that we need. And if we go and look at refresh our page here, there's our image.
Right.
So we can do some really cool things very quickly like that. Now, obviously, it's not much good to us if we can't buy it. Okay, so what we'll go and do now is quickly just run through a purchase order so you can see how that works from a stock level point of view. We'll just buy 10 in and receipt those in. Okay. Now, if we go back to our website and refresh our page, in a moment, what you'll find is that the in-stock will become available.
Okay, yep, just turn from red to blue.
Yep, so now that means I can buy it. And at this point, I'm not logged in, but I can obviously add that to my cart, which it will now do. And I already have an account, so I can log in. Okay.
With your website here, Shane, can you have different skins on them?
Yes, we can apply any number of skins. It's just a look. This is a standard one. It's pretty bland and boring, but it's the one we ship with.
Yeah.
You don't need any real development skills to change colours and so on if you want to do that yourself. If you want to get a bit more complicated, you can. You can run up a completely different look if you really feel like you need to. It depends on what you're trying to do and which target audience you're hitting. If you're hitting B2B only and you just want to extend this to your account customers, you'd probably choose to keep it fairly straightforward, change some colours and your icons, obviously. If you were launching a full-scale B2C website, then you may get developers involved to completely change the look and the feel.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I've logged in. It's now switched that from my anonymous into my cart, and I can go ahead and check that out now if I choose to, and select some other bits and pieces like postage and multi-ship-to addresses.
Right.
Get my shipping method. Now, of course, because I'm a B2B customer, I have the ability to put it on purchase order. I can obviously put it on credit card as well. We'll just put that on the purchase order number.
So an anonymous shopper would only have the credit card option, is that right?
Correct. Yeah, the other ones would disappear because I'm an account customer. I get all of those. And we're going to continue. I get to check my bits and pieces. Obviously, shipping, GST, everything is shown, and that's all coming directly from NAV. And at this point, when I place my order, that is now being sent to NAV in real time. And in a few moments, when we flip back to NAV, we will find that order is now sitting in our system, and it's probably been released already, would be my guess. And there it is there. So that's our order comes straight into NAV. So inside 5 minutes, I've created an item, I've uploaded an image to make it look pretty, I've bought it in, which is unrelated to the web store, but that's now enabled me to check it out and put it on account and get the order straight back into NAV again, ready to ship out.
Right, that's fantastic, Shane. That is really good. Unfortunately, we've run out of time today. Would you just be able to hand the presentation back to me? I've got a couple more questions before you go.
I can do that.
These are the last questions I had. Do I need to get a web developer to use this, the Supply Point web shop?
No, as you just saw there, anybody can upload images, anybody can change content on the website as far as create new topics and some news and some other bits and pieces. The only time you would need a web developer would be for the initial install to make it look like you want as far as the skin goes.
Right, so if I wanted to change a price or update a picture or add a new product, they're all things you can easily do without
any standard NAV user can be granted those permissions.
Okay. And how long does it take to implement?
In our experience, 5 days. And that includes...
5 days, wow.
Yeah, that includes getting it merged in, some time for training, and it's a very simple, it's quite sophisticated, but a very simple system to use. So once it's configured and operational, we literally give you a day's training on how to upload images and change content and some other bits and pieces and some housekeeping, and it's yours. It's very quick to implement. It's one of the big advantages of it.
And of course, there's always the hassle of getting all your pictures together and everything like that for all your items. So that's always going to take a bit of time. But and that, of course, is for existing people that have got NAV already.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah. What version of NAV do you need? Or does it work on all versions?
You need to have it. If you're on anything less than 6 Service Pack 1, then we need to get you a technical upgrade to get to that level. But if this has come from version 4, do a technical upgrade, which would add a little bit of time onto that implementation process. But once you're there, it will then work without a full upgrade. So, we can bury this pretty much into version 4 and back, and then do a technical upgrade to 6 to get you operational for the services that it needs.
Right. How do I make a business case for it?
Well, there's a number of easy ways to do that, but essentially, if you look at your business and you realise that you can make business on the web, then you've got to evaluate the best way to do that. And there's only really a couple of ways. One is to buy an off-the-shelf product that's not integrated, and then somehow integrate it, and that is a very, very expensive process normally to get solid integration. Or I guess
by establishing your web presence, like today with so many more and more sales being made online, this is going to open up a whole new area for you to sell to, I guess.
Well, it is, and I don't think there's too many businesses that could dispute. There are some that genuinely wouldn't make any sales online, but most businesses will make sales online. And the other thing that people forget about is once you expose your business to the web, if you can shift some percentage of your sales online, you remove some percentage of your need for in-house staff to manage that.
Exactly, because the customer's actually placing the order, so there's less administration there for businesses to have order entry takers when you're actually getting the customer to do that. So I suppose there's a couple of ways to save money and also to increase your revenue. So I guess there's your business case.
Yeah, it's not very hard to make a good business case for something like this.
Oh, that's good. All right, well, thank you very much, Shane.
Not a problem at all.
And thanks everyone who joined us.